tonight's agenda, like I say, we're talking about how to handle losing your trades. Now, first thing, we're going to go over a bit of a topic called basically underlies the fact that losing really is part of the game. Losing is all a part of trading. Okay, so we'll discuss that. Then we will go through the things not to do when you're suffering losses. Then we'll go through some ideas and some tips and some ways forward of how you can move forward with your trading and how you can, what I helped me and which will hopefully help you handle your losing trades and how we can learn from it. Then we'll talk a little bit about a few educational events coming up for the rest of the month. This is a short one, you'll be pleased to hear. And of course, I'll do my usual question and answer session at the end. And like I say, if you have any questions, please ask me at the end of the session. And if indeed I know the answer, I will certainly share it with you. Now, I've got that. Let me actually tell you what, let me show you me. Here I am in the corner. Hello, everyone. Right, losing is all part of trading. Okay, part of trading. Now, the most common mistake that most new traders make is believing that to be a success at trading, you must never lose, which is just wrong. Okay, because this leads them into searching for the secret answer, the holy grail, so to speak, the secret answer to how to crack it, which does not exist. Okay, it doesn't exist. There's no secret formula of making sure you win every single trade. It does not exist. Okay. The fact is, and the reality is, that most successful traders, I'm saying successful traders, they have about a win to loss ratio of 50%. So 50% losing trades, 50% winning trades. Because losing is a part of trading. It's simple as that. No matter how good you are, or how good you think you are, no one is bigger than the market. No one's bigger, okay? And losing is unavoidable. You're going to lose some of your trades. You're going to have losing trades, simple as that. But the difference between what makes a successful trader and what makes an unsuccessful trader is that the successful trader, they know this already. They already know that losing is all a part of trading, and they often go into the market expecting to lose on that trade because they know it's most likely, it could most likely happen. Now, going back to the new traders, their biggest mistake, they try and go for the loss aversion, and simply not trying to lose no trade, because loss aversion is not the answer to successful trading. Okay, and at the end of the day, being a bad loser will add, or will end, shall I say, your trading career, okay? Will end it. Because if you can't take a loss, or if you're not prepared to take a loss, or you're not aware that you will have a loss, okay, this will lead to the following, if you can't grasp these things. Number one, demotivation. You'll be demotivated. And on my previous webinars I've done, I've discussed about risk management and strategy and having a plan. And, one of the strong key points of trading is discipline, and, being disciplined. And to have discipline, you need to be motivated. So if you can't handle losing a trade, straight away you're going to be demotivated, which will go all the way back against what we're trying to achieve there. Revenge trading. Okay, if you can't handle a loss, you do a revenge trade. And this is very, very common. What a revenge trade is. Revenge trade is basically you take a loss and without thinking or understanding exactly what's gone on or why you had that loss, you jump straight back into the market to regain that loss back. It's called revenge trading, and it's one of the biggest reasons a lot of accounts get killed off. I mean, for example, I had no doubt those of you who are with me tonight who are trading already, okay, you've had a winning trade in the market, losing trade in the market. So you've gone long on the euro dollar and it's losing and it's lost and the market's moving against, going, it's collapsing, go short. You've got a long position, you lose, you close it, take a big loss, and straight away what you do, you go short, trying to catch the market going downwards, because you think, that's called revenge trading. You go jump straight back in, and you don't actually know why it's going down all of a sudden or why it's going up, whatever. So you jump in just to reclaim that loss back. It's an emotional trade, because revenge, let's face it, is one of the biggest human emotions. So revenge trading, if you can't take a loss, you end up revenge trading, which is one of the quickest ways of killing your account off. The second is deception, and that is basically deceiving yourself and blaming something else, blaming the market, the platform, the broker, whatever. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. And the other thing, if you can't handle a loss, let's face it, it's painful. It's painful to lose money. Nobody likes it. But by losing that, you lose control of your emotions as well as losing your money, which means you totally lose focus. So these are the things, that if you're a bad loser and you can't take a loss, you'll go down these paths and it will make things and make the account and matters worse. And prevention. Let me take you off a second so you can read the rest. Prevention. When you focus too much or too emotional attachment, because you've got to be detached from trading, too emotional attachment to a losing trade, this could cause you to lose focus, which means more losses are likely to follow. So those are the things that will happen, or you do, that if you're a bad loser, will end your trading career. Now, how not, I'm back again, yay, here I am, how not to cope with losing. Okay, these are a few things people do which doesn't help with getting over the fact that you've got a losing trade or you're losing trades. Okay, first things, one of the first things is suppression. It's where you hide it into your belly, keeping those negative emotions inside. Okay, because hiding negative emotions of losing means you cannot learn and move forward from it. It means you're not learning. You can't look back on it. You're holding those emotions in, which means you're not going to learn from it. You've got to accept that loss. You've got to accept that it hurts. Okay? No pain, no gain, as they say. I hate that cliche, but it's true. The other thing people do, which is not a good way of coping with losing, is deception and projection. Same thing I said again. Blaming the loss on something else. Blaming the loss on the platform, the market, the broker, somebody told you a tip which was wrong, market conditions, whatever, and not taking responsibility for your actions. That's a big one, okay? Because that is not how you cope with losing, by deceiving yourself. And second is denial. Excuse me, denial. Living in hope that though, for example, you've got a trade in the market, though that trade is losing, it will rebound in your favor, you keep it open, or that your losing strategy, what you're doing, will eventually start to work for you, will turn around. The old saying, sign of madness is doing the same thing and still getting the same results. So denial is another reason or another thing not to do to cope with losing. So how to cope with losing? Let me have a little sip of my drink. Lovely. So how to cope with losing? Acceptance. That is the first thing. Acceptance. Accept that losing comes with trading. Accept it. As soon as you got to grips with that, the better. Love your losing trades. And that sounds really funny. How can I love losing, James? That sounds ridiculous. But love your losing trades, because this, by losing, is how you learn about how you react, how to control yourself, and also how to learn about the market. So learn to love your losing trades. Reduction. If you're taking big hits, okay, you're suffering big losses, might be an idea to start lowering your exposure, as in trading smaller contract sizes. So if you're trading lots and you're heavy loss and you're taking losses, reduce them. Go to half a lot, quarter a lot, micro lot. Start reducing your exposure. Take a break. We've all had bad days. We've all had bad trades. So walk away from it. Close down your laptop. Close off your mobile, whatever your thing is. Close it down and walk away from it. And walk away from the day. Because this will help you not revenge trade. This will help you not go over emotional and then make mistakes. This will help you walk away from it and get your thoughts together. So take a break. Walk away from it for a bit and take a break. A journal. I'll take myself off. I'm always getting in the way, look. Journal. And those individuals who've come to my other webinars, they know I bang on, I go on and on and on and on about this. A journal, a trader's diary. Record your trades, record your experiences, because that is one of the best ways to find out about yourself, see what mistakes you're making, record your trades, and build a plan and strategy for you. So this helps as well. Journal. Make sure you start writing down a journal and recording your trades. Now, we're talking about losses, of course. And one of the other things is knowing when to let go of a losing trade. Okay, and that's one of the biggest fights. And I know a lot. Those who've come, I've already spoken about this on so many times. The battle of fear and hope, which happens to everybody. You know, it's the example. For example, when you have a winning trade in the market, you fear that it's going to go against you, so you close it really quickly, snatch that small profit. Then when you have a losing trade in the market, instead of like getting scared of it, you're hoping it will come back, and obviously loss gets bigger and bigger. Big battle of hope, fear and hope, biggest challenge, biggest hurdle for most people to overcome. But yeah, I've talked about that lots of times. But knowing when to let go. So the whole idea of cutting your losses early, using a stop loss, using a trailing stop, which I talk about. Understand support and resistance. So these are the sort of things which can help you understand when to accept a losing trade or when to control your losing trades. Okay. Now, cutting losses early. Now, here's the thing. This is something I like, let's hang out, chuck out there. Okay. Now, reacting on a loss, in my view, is not really the way forward. Okay. So really, cutting losses early really shouldn't be really a strategy. And let me tell you why I think that. It's because instead, I believe, again, going to the trader's diary, trying to take the emotions, trying to go step by step, I believe that you should already have an understanding of where you're going to get out of the market before you've entered the market. So you should already know where you're going to put your take profit and or your loss before clicking trade now. So cutting losses early should be already prepared. It's not a case of getting in the market and cutting it manually. It's being prepared for it already, knowing where your stop loss is or where your take profit is. And a plan really should be established, already established on your losses. And basically your losses will be cut based upon your trading style and strategy. So it's already part of the plan. Stop loss. Excuse me. Sorry, dry throat. Stop loss. Okay, this is another thing you can use to help with your losses. And this ideally really should be one of the key elements to your plan. Should be where you're going to set your stop loss, where you're going to cut yourself out of the market. I think this is more important than where your take profit is. Stop loss. This is key. You should know where your stop loss is first on your trade before you jump in, and it should already be part of your mind way before, obviously, the take profit or anything else. Because by setting your stop loss straight away, you're managing your exposure. Okay, and this is the idea, because if we're going into the market, we're assuming we're going to lose, so straight away we should know exactly what is the minimum, or sorry, the maximum we're willing to lose in that trade. So it should be set pretty much straight away. And like I say, that stop loss should be based upon your account size, your contract size, and indeed, of course, your attitude to risk. And it should also be based upon your risk management structure, what risk management program you got in place. And that would also help you at the same time, if you have your stop loss already set, will help you calculate your risk reward ratio. Trailing stops. Now, I really like I think the use of trailing stops can be really handy. And I'm surprised really how a lot of people don't use them, or don't go in, or don't even think about using them. I remember the time when I was looking after a number of VIPs, who had a lot of winning trades in their market. Obviously, I'm not allowed. I couldn't give them advice because it's not allowed to give advice. But I give them support, and I would give them market overview at the time what I thought was what things to be looking at with. And they would often talk to me and ask me, you know, their winning positions, what I think. And I said, I can't give you advice. Okay, I can tell you that obviously the market is volatile and dangerous, but why don't you do a trading stop? Because you're in a profit. Why don't you move your stop up, locking in some profit? And so many people never ever did that. And then obviously the market has market has a habit of turning on you. And often those winning trades would become losing trades. So I think it's the trading stops. I'm surprised so many people don't use them, because really, you know, it's a great way of protecting yourself, but also locking in potential profit. Because trading stops move when the asset you are trading is moving in the direction you anticipated. It's going in your favor. And the idea is by using the trading stop, you reduce your risk. Okay, you risk in the market. But at the same time, you start locking in some form of profit with your trade. Now, you can do a trading stop either manually, moving your trading stop, or if you're using MT4, you can set it on your trade automatically. So, you know, it's a great tool to be used now, a very good tool to be used. And let me give you an example of how it works. So this is obviously the cable, okay? This is a theoretical example, all right? It's just an example of how it can work. So let's say, for example, we entered the market around this sort of level. And initially, we set our stop loss, you know, about here, okay? Get my laser pointer. Woohoo, laser pointer. So we set our initial stop loss here. So we've entered here, and this is our stop loss, and this is exactly what we've decided to do before we go into the market, okay? So it starts moving in our favor, okay, going upwards. So at this point here, we're in a bit of profit, okay? So what we do then is we move up our stop loss up, okay, taking off our risk, but also locking in a little bit of profit, okay? And then as the market moves higher in our favor, we do it again, okay? We move our stop loss up, okay? Again, taking all our risk out of the market because our margin would be clear there because we're in profit, and locking in some profit, okay? And this is a good tool, again, of controlling our losses, and, you know, being better prepared. So I do like trading stop. I'm surprised so many people don't ever go around to using them. The other thing, of course, which is really good to understand or control your losses is understanding support and resistance. Now, again, for those who haven't been to my other webinars about support and resistance, support is a level which acts like a trampoline, and it's a level where an asset can fall to, hit, and then the market jumps in and starts to buy again, pushing upwards. And resistance acts as a ceiling where an asset can come to, hits, and the market starts to sell again. So it starts to drop off. So it's always a good idea to understand where the potential resistance and potential support is. Now, understanding these and knowing how to identify these can again help you set your stop loss and your trading stops. Okay. You know, so for example, if I go back on my example here, okay, if you look here, okay, it's just, again, it was just an example, but theoretically speaking, I set on this example my stop loss around about just below a level where I've seen the market initially come down and then bounce back up again. So that's, you know, that's there was a potential support where I could see the market buying in. Again, this is just an example. I've just done this. It's not an actual trade. It's just an example to illustrate it. But that is what I mean. Okay, understand where the support is. And that, like I say, can be really helpful. At the same time, if we know where the potential support and resistance is, again, like I say, it's helpful for setting our stop loss. It's helpful for setting our potential take profit. It's helpful for possibly getting in or entering or exiting the market. But if we can also recognize when a potential level has been broken, we can be then prepared for a potential breakout and things like that. Okay, so you understand support and resistance.